Welcome, everyone, to Vol Society Live. My name is David Morrison. I am the Vol Society analyst here on the Vol Society Network. I hope everyone has had a very wonderful holiday break, whether you are off work this week or maybe you went back to work. Hopefully, everybody's Christmas went okay. Got to see family and friends, and now we're getting ready to enter into the college basketball season. Like I said, we Tennessee getting ready to tip off in less than an hour against Alabama. We'll talk about that game tonight. We got basically a big next 24 hours right here on the Vol Society Network. We're going to have not only tonight's live stream, but two more live streams tomorrow. Join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock if you can. We are going to have the Music City Bowl kickoff show as we will break down the 2021 Music City Bowl as the Tennessee Volunteers take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Try to get some guests on for the show. And also join us after the Music City Bowl as we will recap the Tennessee-Purdue game. Welcome in our viewers watching us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/UT Vol Society. Happy New Year, Chad. Also, my grandparents watching as every week. Like I said, you can leave your comments, whether you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube. In the chat room, I have the chat room in front of me, so I will try to answer as much as I can. Like I said, going to be a busy couple of days, so you'll kind of be seeing me and hopefully some others, at least tomorrow's night's show. Like I said, just make sure you have the notifications on when we do go live, and you can be a part of the show. But tonight, the SEC basketball conference season got underway. Like I said, Tennessee getting ready to tip off at 9 o'clock on ESPN2 at the Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. Big game for the Vols, coming off an emotional win on the 23rd of December as Tennessee took care of Arizona. Like I said, some games going on right now. One game already final. Mississippi State took care of Arkansas today, 81-68. That game just went final. And Kentucky leading Missouri at the half, 44-27 against Missouri. And then a big one down in Auburn. Number 11 Auburn leading number 16 LSU 32-21. And then our game follows that game on ESPN2. And then Georgia playing their final non-conference game. They're trailing Gardner-Webb 49-39, which is no surprise because Georgia's not great in basketball. Good. They're great in football, but basketball, not so much. All right, let's go ahead and kind of break down this game tonight as we get y'all ready for the Vols and the Tide at the Coleman Coliseum. Like I said, Tennessee, big win. Actually, it was on December 22nd. Tennessee upset number 6 Arizona at Thompson-Boling Arena, 77-73. We didn't really get to talk to y'all on the live stream about that game. But, you know, that was a huge game for the Vols, especially after not getting to play Memphis and Nashville. Seemed like Tennessee was very fired up to play the Wildcats, and they came out right out of the gate. Thompson-Boling Arena was rocking and rolling right out, and Arizona just really kind of didn't have an answer for the first several minutes of the game. Finally got their footing in, and Tennessee, let them creep back in. But Tennessee, give credit where credit's due, they did not surrender the lead to Arizona. They did tie it, though, but Tennessee held their own and end up getting a huge win. Like I said, that was Arizona's first loss of the year. And kind of recapping the season, if you hadn't really paid attention to our the basketball season so far this year, Tennessee's coming in to this game 9-2 on the year. The two losses, we lost to Villanova in the Hall of Fame tournament back on November the 20th. Of course, Villanova was ranked number 5 in the country. Tennessee did answer back the next day and defeated then number 18 North Carolina 89-72. And then the second loss of the year, Tennessee lost to Texas Tech at Madison Square Garden, the Jimmy V Classic, and probably one of the ugliest basketball games you'll ever see. The Vols lost to the Red Raiders 57-52, and I believe that game was in overtime. But Tennessee does have some solid wins on the year. They got a win at Colorado on December the 4th. That was right before the Jimmy V Classic, and I think I may have mentioned it on the one of the live streams. It's interesting that Tennessee, flew to Boulder, Colorado on the 4th, and then had to fly across country just 3 days later to play Texas Tech at MSG. So I kind of wonder if there was a little bit of jet lag, kind of maybe even I think they ended up going back to Knoxville for a day or so. But still, not a great performance by the Vols. But then they rebounded nicely, defeated UNC Greensboro on December the 11th. Blowout win for Tennessee, 76-36. And like I said, the Vols coming into this game with some great momentum. But Alabama is too. Alabama has had our number last couple of years, ever since Nate Oates has arrived in Tuscaloosa. This team, very up tempo, loves a lot of spacing. They're havoc on defense. Just a team that Tennessee has struggled with, and unfortunately, Rick Barnes seems like he has a hard time with these up tempo teams that loves to shoot the three. Auburn is another team like that. So let's see if Tennessee can make Alabama have a cold shooting night. Looking at some of the numbers for the Vols on the year, I'll read the projected starters for tonight's game. Obviously, Kennedy Chandler, our true freshman point guard, averaging 14 points a game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Chandler didn't really have a great game in Tennessee's last showing against Arizona. Matter of fact, he looked like a freshman. And I think going forward throughout the year, and Jimmy Dykes, who called the Arizona game and is also calling this game tonight, made a great point. About 9 minutes to go in the Arizona game, he's like, I want to see how these two freshman point guards, and he was talking about Kennedy Chandler and Zaire Ziegler, how they can handle this momentum with 9 minutes to go. Now, granted, he was talking about the Arizona game, but I think this is going to be a key factor. When Tennessee's in close games, you have two true freshman point guards in Ziegler and Chandler. It's going to be a big key factor in a lot of wins and losses, and I'm not trying to put a lot of the pressure on them, but that's where the offense really gets going. And Tennessee at times can put up a lot of points, but then a lot of times, especially we saw parts of that in the Arizona game, Tennessee has a hard time getting some scoring in. And we've seen several long droughts of not scoring from this Tennessee offense. So, like I said, I really like this team defensively, but the offense, it just kind of comes in spurts, and hopefully Tennessee gets the hot ball tonight and throughout the rest of the year. Santiago Vescovi, he changed his name since the last time we talked about Tennessee's basketball team. He's having a pretty decent season, 13 points a game. Like I said, he is Tennessee's main three-point shooter. He's going to throw up a lot of threes this year, and hopefully he can keep knocking them down when he can. And that's kind of been, of course, Tennessee seems like they're more of a three-point shooting team, not only with Vescovi, Josiah Jordan-James. He's going to knock down a lot of threes. Victor Bailey Jr. loves the three ball. And then Justin Powell, the transfer from Auburn, definitely loves to shoot behind the arc. So, like I said, Tennessee's going to be shooting a lot of threes, and we've kind of seen that if you follow along this year. They're definitely going to test that three-point line, and especially a team like Alabama tonight who shoots it more consistent than us. We need them to go down. Mentioned Josiah Jordan-James starting tonight, obviously, averaging 6 points a game. Had a great game against Arizona. Of course, the big slam dunk right near the beginning of the game that got the crowd really fired up. Kind of made the Sports Center highlights and YouTube highlights. So nice, just a single moment in that Arizona game, especially for Josiah Jordan-James in his career. And then Olivia Kamwa has really improved this year, averaging 8 points a game. Definitely the most improved player on this Tennessee team. Matter of fact, he's shooting 60% for threes. I just noticed that in the other stats on Tennessee's game notes. So there's another guy that you can count on to shoot the three ball. But like I said, I want to see Tennessee have a little bit more balance instead of just trying to throw up a lot of threes. And then John Fulkerson, the hero in the Arizona game, 24 points, 10 rebounds. We posted the Mayfield's John Fulkerson picture, which we got from the Mayfield's Facebook page, and that picture took off on our Facebook page. So thank you to our Facebook followers for sharing it and liking it, and it really got trending. It was probably our most viewed posts on the Vol Society Facebook page. So thank you very much. It's kind of overwhelming to see that. But yeah, John Fulkerson, who has an NIL deal with Mayfield's Dairy Farms. Like I said, he deserves all the milk and cookies. The super senior from Kingsport, Tennessee, and definitely the fan favorite on this team. And one thing about John Fulkerson, thinking about his career at Tennessee, obviously obviously he's probably not. He doesn't have the numbers like a Bernard King or Ernie Grunsfeld or even a Chris Lofton, but I believe John Fulkerson is probably going to go down as one of the most beloved Tennessee basketball players of all time. It's just just a humble kid from the state of Tennessee who's been here for 6 years now, and even like when he first came on campus, you can really tell that he wanted to contribute to this basketball team and kind of had a little bit of a cult following his freshman year. And then he's battled some injuries over his Tennessee career. But, he's, especially in the last couple of years, has really turned up his game and became a leader on this team. And it looked like Fulke was going to leave us last year. Remember the Florida game where he kissed the Tennessee floor and was very emotional. And we're thinking, well, this is the end of the ride. And I believe in that SEC tournament game when he got smacked in the nose by Florida very badly and got the black eyes and broke nose, I believe he's like, I don't want to be going out that way. So glad we had John Fulkerson still on this team, a great leader at Tennessee, and just definitely a fan favorite and beloved all the way around. And can't wait to see what he does. And like I said, definitely helped us out defeat Arizona. All right, let's switch over to Alabama. Their projected starters tonight. The reigning SEC tournament MVP, Javon Queerly, averaging 14 points a game for the Crimson Tide. Lethal three-point shooter, along with Jaden Shackelford, who's averaging 16 points a game. Keon Ellis is averaging 12 points a game, 6 rebounds. That's a pretty good 1-2-3 combo right there for Nate Oates, along with Juwan Gary and Charles Beccanito from Canada. So, like I said, this is a team that has really wreaked havoc on us since Nate Oates has been here. And Tennessee does not have a great record in Tuscaloosa. Matter of fact, I think I read like it was like 46-5. Alabama leads all overall series at Coleman Coliseum. So Tennessee, it's almost like another Rupp Arena that we got to go to. I mean, just never can find a way to win there, and the crowd's going to be red hot for this matchup. Like I said, Tennessee coming into this contest number 14 in the country, and Alabama is number 19 in the country. As far as the Crimson Tide season has gone so far, they started out, they kind of picked up some pretty easy wins over like Louisiana Tech, South Dakota State, South Alabama, Oakland. Then they end up losing to Iona, which is coached by Rick Pitino. So I guess you can say an upset loss, but it is Rick Pitino. I know people have their opinions of him. Uh, end up coming back and end up defeating Drake and Miami in the month of November. Then going into December, huge win against Gonzaga in Seattle, 91-82. That kind of opened the eyes of everybody thinking, well, Alabama is back as far as being being the defending tournament champions. This is a huge win. And then they ended up defeating Houston. It was a controversial game, especially at the end. There were some shenanigans that happened, but they defeated Houston on their home court 83-82. And then the shocking loss to Memphis at the FedEx Forum on December the 14th. Like I said, Alabama was red hot. They went into a hostile environment in Memphis. And like I said, Memphis has been struggling all year. They lost to teams like Murray State, and I think Georgia was another, or not Georgia. They lost to somebody else earlier in the year. That was a shocking loss. But, like I said, that Memphis game just was kind of an eye-opener. Big, shocking loss, 92-78. They lost to the Tigers. Rebounded with a win over Jacksonville State, and then they're supposed to play, I believe, Colorado State. Colorado State had to back out because of COVID, and they replaced with Davidson. And Davidson went to Coleman Coliseum and got a 1-point win over the Crimson Tide, 79-78. That was their last game on December 21st, which kind of shocked that you would schedule a team like Davidson. I mean, one of the best mid-major teams in college basketball. When you think of Davidson basketball, you think of Steph Curry. But even after Steph has been gone, they still make the NCAA tournament pretty frequently. So a little bit of a head scratcher why you would kind of schedule them, but they did. And they kind of paid for it. So now we go into SEC play. The Crimson Tide coming into this game 9-3 on the year. We mentioned Jaden Shackelford, the leading scorer. Shackelford and Ellis, the leading rebounder, averaging 6 points a game. Kevin chiming in. Good evening. I just hope we play good as a team and win, of course. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, this is not going to be a walk in the park, especially playing on the road. J.D. Davison, I hadn't mentioned him yet. He's a true freshman, a McDonald's All-American, averaging he's leading the team in assists, and he had 20 points in the win against Gonzaga. So definitely someone we're going to have to really keep an eye out on. So I was kind of surprised he's not starting, especially he's played very well for the Crimson Tide. But, he's going to be entering the game right as soon as they start going to the bench. So going to have to keep an extra eye out on J.D. Davison, true freshman for Alabama. Keon Ellis leading the team in steals. Beccanito, or if you say his name, he's averaging a couple of blocks a game. Like I said, this is a big game. Obviously, SEC opener on the road, playing one of your biggest rivals, and especially two teams that's in the top 20. Like I said, we already mentioned one tonight with LSU and Auburn, and then our game follows. So, like I said, we're in conference play. Like I said, Tennessee still has one more non-conference game at the end of January when we play Texas in the SEC Big 12 Challenge, but that's still quite a bit of ways away. But like I said, Tennessee's SEC schedule, I mean, going to be pretty tough right out of the gate. Like I said, we got Alabama tonight, and then the first game in 2022 for the Vols, a home game against Ole Miss. That's on January the 5th. I'm not too worried about that Ole Miss game. But then that's next Saturday, January the 8th, got to go to the Pete Maravich Center to take on LSU. That's not going to be an easy game for Tennessee. Then you get South Carolina on the 11th. I'm not really scared about South Carolina either. And then January the 15th, a 1:00 tip-off at Rupp Arena against Kentucky. So Tennessee needs to get off to a hot start in conference play. Like I said, if they want to be a contender in the SEC, because this is, like I said, the SEC in basketball this year is going to be, I think, really good this year. Chad says Hope they can keep the hustle on defense like we had against Arizona. Absolutely. Arizona and Alabama are very similar as far as scoring a lot of points and really playing up tempo. Bama just got some. It's probably got more quicker guys. It seemed like Arizona kind of had more size. Well, except for Beccanito, he's 7 foot. But Quinterly and Shackelford are 6'1", 6'3". Ellis and Gary are 6'6". So they got a little bit of size, but definitely very quick guards. And we probably got more size for ourselves. But like I said, Tennessee really needs to get off to a hot start in conference play, and I think they can. Like I said, but we're going to see how they're going to be right out the gate, as we're 40 minutes away from tip-off. Some other news and notes as far as the Tennessee basketball program. Brandon Huntley-Hatfield only played 2 minutes in the Arizona game. There was kind of some concerns what was going on, and Rick Barnes was very blunt about it. Kind of said that Brandon Huntley-Hatfield hasn't practiced very well, and and that's why you didn't really see him play, but only a couple minutes. So it seems like the other true freshman Huntley-Hatfield, just not really catching up with the rest of the team at this point. A little concerning, but like I said, he is a freshman, so could be interesting to see where Rick Barnes goes with him the rest of the year. Probably he may be on the bench the rest of the year, but we shall see. That's why we've seen a lot of Euros Plavits come off the bench. So especially kind of in his size, which Euros. I mean, he's fine for what he can do. He can put it back whenever he can, but he's not somebody that you go to all the time. He's just kind of a distributor underneath the basket. But that's kind of some other news and notes going on. Kind of look at the rest of some other notes here. We mentioned Justin Powell a little bit. Obviously he's going to come off the bench and knock some threes down. He's really adapted very well. Of course, he came from the transfer portal from Auburn. He's only a sophomore, so he still has a couple of years left. So that's good to have some experience. And especially as the season goes on, we'll see how Kennedy Chandler's going to do, and Zaire Ziegler, which I expect to see Kennedy Chandler be a one and done guy, and then you'll have Zaire Ziegler kind of running the show, and along with possibly B.J. Edwards to see if he can kind of, I don't know if he'll play point right when he gets here next year, but definitely will be on the team next year. But still got to go through this year. There's a lot of great guys on this team, and we're starting to now see Rick Barnes adjust his lineup and who he feels confident playing. And I guess that's probably why with Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, we only saw just a couple of minutes with him. It seems like now we're probably just going to see the lineup being trimmed down to where we saw 10, 12 guys in these cupcake games. And now going into SEC play where the games really, all the games matter, but where the games really get tight, then we're going to start seeing the usual lineup. And I expect to see obviously Chandler. I think Ziegler definitely will be in there. Vescovy, James, obviously Folke, Kamwa. I think Justin Powell and Victor Bailey will be coming off the bench. So definitely I could see that be your 8-man rotation right there, maybe 9-man rotation. Some of the other guys that we've kind of seen throughout the year, I don't see Kent Gilbert. He played a little bit at the beginning of the year, but I don't see him sticking around for SEC play, and Janzik, and so you'll start seeing the rotation being cut down to about 8, and hopefully everybody can kind of stay healthy. I know that's been kind of the unfortunate factor is with COVID, a lot of games kind of getting postponed or canceled. Unfortunately, Florida and Ole Miss had to postpone their game tonight. They were supposed to go, but that's been postponed. I don't know when their makeup day is, but that's one of the main reasons Mississippi State and Arkansas tipped off earlier in the day because I think that was supposed to be Florida and Ole Miss. So it is what it is. I'll just say that. But like I said, the college basketball, like I said, SEC play is here. I'm excited to see what this team can do tonight. Like I said, I'm excited to, like I said, just excited to get off to a hot start. Like I said, Tennessee Athletics has been on fire. As a matter of fact, tomorrow when Tennessee enters the Music City Bowl, University of Tennessee will be the only team in the calendar year 2021 to have a baseball team that went to the College World Series, a men's and women's basketball programs made the NCAA tournament, and a college football program who made a bowl game. So that is just how much 1 year has changed at the University of Tennessee since Dr. Danny White has come aboard. The four major programs making the NCAA tournament. Matter of fact, I'll throw the softball team in. They made the NCAA softball tournament. So, I mean, been a great year. Our founder, Brad, has been on, or has just chimed in. Let's go, Vols. What a year it's been. Vols Society, thanks for the support. Let's win the bowl. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we'll talk about the Music City Bowl tomorrow right before kickoff at 3 o'clock. We'll be live at 2 o'clock. Like I said, may have to. I'm gonna see if I can get our founder to come on either one of the shows. And know he's a busy man himself. Of course, I'm off work this week, so that's one of the reasons I'm kind of doing it. Score prediction. Okay, I'll give you the football score prediction. I'm going to go Tennessee 45, Purdue 17. I don't see this being much of a game. Like I said, kind of give you a sneak preview for tomorrow. Basically, Purdue is going to be without David Ball, their all Big Ten wide receiver. He is going to the NFL, so he's not playing. George Kalaflius, their best defensive player, not going to play. And then I read a couple more Purdue players not going to play. And a matter of fact, I think the number 2 wide receiver behind David Ball is not going to play. So Aiden O'Connell doesn't have a lot of weapons. So if I'm Tennessee, I'm going after the quarterback right out of the gate. And like I said, just make his trip to Nashville not a lot of fun. And Brad's going 37-17 Vols for tomorrow's Music City Bowl. Yeah, definitely. I expect it's probably going to be a blowout. And Tennessee should have a lot of guys healthy, especially on the offensive line. And I definitely will get into that tomorrow and really break it down before we get going. Any other comments or questions about the game tonight? Just kind of give you my thoughts. I give you a score prediction for tonight. Chad's going 45-0 Vols shutout. Wow. I would love to see that. Of course, we saw the Liberty Bowl yesterday. Texas Tech just ran all over Mississippi State. I expect to be something similar to that. As far as basketball goes tonight, it's kind of hard to see. I'm happy Tennessee got the win over Arizona. It's going to be, and they've had the holiday break. I think Alabama's probably a little upset after that Davidson loss, and just going to Coleman Coliseum tonight. I'm probably going to pick Alabama to win tonight in basketball. I hate to say that, but it's just kind of one of those. We have to really execute defensively. Going to have to just force guys to throw up bad shots, bad 3-pointers. But like I said, Alabama can get hot. Brad mentioned, was that not the best start to a basketball game ever against Arizona? Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time since I've seen Tennessee got off to a hot start. Obviously with like the cupcake games, like the Chattanoogas and ETSUs of the world, you see Tennessee jump out to a big lead against them. But as far as a top 10 program in Arizona, undefeated, it was crazy. Yeah, Brad mentions it right. It was unreal. I've never seen anything like that, probably ever. It was fantastic to see. Obviously, I think Tennessee was upset with how that Memphis game turned out, getting ready to play the Tigers in Nashville, and then it got canceled at the 11th hour, and for Tennessee, they've had 2 games canceled in Nashville in the last couple of years. Of course, they're supposed to play Alabama in the SEC tournament against Bama, and that's when the world shut down. And then this Memphis game. Brad says Vols will beat Bama tonight in Tuscaloosa. I hope you're right. Like I said, I don't want to be negative about it, but it's going to be a fun matchup. I want to see Tennessee get motivated right out of the gate. Love the defense that game. Rebounds was excellent. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were crashing the glass the whole night, even offensively. That's the thing. Tennessee kind of struggles last couple of years is offensive rebounds, and we were crashing the glass that whole game and just could never let Arizona get back in the game. And that's what they got to do tonight. And I know Alabama's going to be ready for it. Like I said, Bama's still just a little bit more quicker than what Arizona can bring. But, like I said, if Tennessee can execute that defense, it could be a long night. Like I said, the crowd's going to be fired up. Like I said, we don't have the home fans. They're obviously playing in T-Town. And believe it or not, Alabama does have some basketball fans, I guess. So they're going to be rocking and rolling and, big top 20 showdown at start this SEC basketball season. Real quickly, some score updates. Down in Auburn, number 11 Auburn is pulling away from LSU 41-28. And that's 15 minutes ago in the game there. Kentucky up 55-45 on Missouri. Missouri's kind of making a comeback at them. And poor Georgia losing to Gardner-Webb 68-49. Golly. Rick Barnes lets them play ball. We win. Nebraska is Chandler and Folky out tonight. They were in the lineup. Let me double check that for. Let me see here. That's new to me. Yeah, you are right. Oh man, that is yikes. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is from the Crimson Crossovers. Per Grant Ramsey, Kennedy Chandler, and John Fulkerson are both out tonight after testing positive for COVID on Sunday. Okay. All right. So, yeah, that definitely now changes the game. So now Chandler and Fulkerson are both out tonight because of COVID. Oh, yeah, now. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that definitely not looking good. Yeah, that's like the worst news you can get right before tip-off. Yeah, okay. So this morning, Alabama set at a 1.5-point home favorite against Alabama. News of Kennedy Chandler and John Fulkerson has made the line to climb to 7. Yikes. All right, so yeah. So this is going to – so now you lose your top point guard and you lose the guy that helped you win against Arizona. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's terrible news. I mean, you want your guys healthy, but yeah, that's a big blow going into an SEC road opener. So yeah, I definitely now taking Alabama to win that one, unfortunately. But we shall see. Like I said, you're gonna have to get. So now it looks like Zaire Ziegler will be running the point, and then. I don't know what the lineup will be. I don't know if Uros will be being his spot or not. And there you go right there. For those joining us, I'll go ahead and pull up the thing. Breaking news from the Vol Society. Folky and Chandler are out tonight against Alabama due to both being tested for COVID. So some breaking news right there. I'll go ahead and kind of leave it up here for those watching. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just sad to see. But we shall see. Maybe, like I said, hopefully we can rattle up something and try to squeeze out a win. But now it's going to be tough to get it. Anyways, we'll go ahead and kind of wrap it up. Like I said, some breaking news provided through our founder, Brad, about Kennedy Chandler and John Fulkerson not playing tonight against Alabama. But anyways, hopefully we'll see what happens. Like I said, thank you for tuning in tonight. Don't forget, we will be back right here tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, as we will have the kickoff show for the Music City Bowl. We'll break it all down. We kind of talked about it tonight, but we'll do a full in depth with that. Try to hopefully get some guests on here tomorrow, and then we will be back on Ball Society Live following the Music City Bowl, as we will recap the game. Once again, I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. Like I said, even though we'll talk to you tomorrow, but hopefully everybody had a nice holiday and got some nice rest in, and like I said, hopefully can enjoy the game tomorrow. Obviously, tonight's now going to be a little bit more stressful, but we shall see. So, once again, breaking news just coming in while we did the live stream. John Fulkerson and Kennedy Chandler will not play tonight against the Alabama Crimson Tide, both out for COVID. So we shall see. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully we can enjoy the game here in about 20 minutes. And like I said, we'll talk to y'all tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock for the kickoff show. And then the postgame show will start around 7 o'clock for that one. So, like I said, enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully we can pull a win out, even with this bad news coming along. Until then, my name is David Morrison. Have a great night, and go Balls. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow afternoon.